Warning, cheaters may contain adult themes and strong language. Parents are cautioned that this program may not be suitable for children. Coming up on this episode of Cheaters.
I'm sorry. My detectives earlier told me they're together right now.
I'm Joey Greco with Cheaters.
What's going on here? Who's this?
Somebody that works at the hospital.
I've seen every bit of this on camera.
From Cheaters surveillance cameras, you are about to view actual true stories filmed live, documenting the pain of a spouse or lover caused by infidelity. This program is both dedicated to the faithful and presented to the false-hearted to encourage their renewal of temperance and virtue.
You can feel in your heart when something's not right.
No other woman has made me feel the way she does.
I'm lost. I feel like I'm by myself.
I just can't take the lies.
I know this is upsetting. He met the same young lady.
I have to know the truth.
I knew he was a dog, and I'm gonna get him.
Let's make this happen. Get eyes on the suspect.
Whoa. Yeah! This is what I think about your music.
You're a whore!
Oh, you gotta tell me!
Man, get the camera out of my face.
Get away from me! I swear to God, I'll jump. This is like not how this is supposed to work. Just tell me why.
Just remember, I got it on camera.
I'm sorry. I've ruined everything. I'm sorry.
Real reality television is brought to you by Cheaters Detective Agency's Private Eyes on Cheaters.
Welcome. I'm Joey Greco. Thanks for turning on Cheaters. Please meet Ron Bush, a remarried widower who fears the loss of another wife all over again, this time to infidelity. At the end of his rope, Ron calls the pros at Cheaters to uncover the truth behind his missing in action soulmate.
Ron Bush, age 41. A remarried widower who worries that his wife may be playing doctor during her overtime hours.
We liked everything about each other. We liked the same movies. We liked the same music. We both started out on the left foot. We just always were in tune with each other. So we moved fast. It was probably 2 years ago, and we just decided to get married fast, to move in together fast, and things worked good for us. Stephanie is chatting with someone with instant messages. They're going back and forth, and they're talking about sex and things that they like to do and don't like to do. Now she's putting in overtime into late hours in the night, and after a certain time you can't call into their building because they have an answering service, and so there's no way for me to tell, is she at work, is she not at work? I need her to be my soulmate again. She's not my soulmate anymore. She doesn't think the same way I think. She doesn't feel the same way I feel. She doesn't recognize that our song is on the radio anymore. I need her to need me.
If you suspect infidelity in your relationship, Cheaters licensed investigators may be able to provide you assistance. Exercise your right to be informed. Stephanie Bush, age 36. A hospital coordinator suspected of straying while claiming to be working overtime. Investigation Day 4. As night falls on the city, Cheaters inspectors working on information from complainant Bush locate his wife leaving the hospital where she works as a coordinator. Several hours into the investigation with no results, Cheaters detectives catch a break when the suspect emerges from her office. Stephanie Bush scuttles across the parking lot and advances toward her minivan. Seemingly confident about her behavior, detectives keep a sharp eye as suspect Bush enters her vehicle. Suspect Bush then travels to the other side of town before entering the parking lot of a local tavern frequented by college students. A brief jaunt across the street, and suspect Bush meets up with an unidentified man, and Cheaters detectives note that the pair seem quite familiar with each other. A Cheaters field operative follows the twosome inside. Cheaters observes closely as a lengthy game of foosball ensues between the competitive couple. After banging a few balls around and knocking a few beers back, suspect Bush and her companion leave the hangout. Using a high-powered night vision lens, Cheater's agents watch the suspect steaming up her minivan's windows with this unknown man. Cheater's PIs follow the suspect and her companion to a downtown hotel. The cozy couple walk hand in hand into the lodge, and several hours pass before suspect Bush exits the inn alone. Investigation Day 6. After spotting suspect Bush entering the hotel, Cheater's detectives wait patiently for her to resurface. After about an hour, the suspect and her companion, whose identity is withheld, enter the suspect's minivan and hustle down the highway. Thirsty for some action, the two stop off at a fancy uptown martini mill. After tossing back a few, suspect Bush yearns for something straight up, and the two exit this vermouth vendor. While the two tuck away inside the suspect's car, Cheater's operatives watch them use the minivan as a den of sin. When the two finish their rambunctious romp, suspect Bush makes a phone call to her husband Ron, as her special friend straightens out his ensemble.
Hello?
Hey, baby, what are you doing?
Just laying here watching TV.
Listen, I'm going to be working late. We have a sales rep coming in, and the meeting doesn't even start till 11:30, so I don't imagine I'll be home till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
I don't understand why all these meetings got to go on at nighttime.
Listen, I'm not really happy right now.
Well, I'll be here. I'm waiting up for you.
Don't wait up, honey. Just go to bed, and I'll see you when I get home.
Whatever.
I have to go. I love you. Bye.
Bye.
Arriving back at the hotel, the preoccupied pair walk inside together. After a brief interlude, suspect Bush leaves the hotel alone. Investigation Day 7. Suspect Bush punches out for the day at work. Operatives tail her to a supercenter to do some last-minute shopping. A Cheater's field agent follows her inside, where his surveillance video reveals the suspect eyeing some undergarments. She selects a sexy, strappy number, and in the pharmacy section, suspect Bush picks up prophylactics, then quickly pays and hits the street. The gumshoes follow suspect Bush down the familiar path to the third party's hotel. Suspect Bush exits her vehicle with a goodie bag in hand. Out front, her gracious host greets his guest, and together they enter the high-class hotel. Once they're locked away in the companion's hedonistic playpen, Cheater's detectives play the waiting game. Hours later, having had her fun, suspect Bush exits the hotel lobby. En route to her car, a homeless man approaches her for some consideration. With no spare change to give him, she heads homeward. With a considerable body of evidence, Cheaters closes the case on Mrs. Bush and prepares to reveal the findings to Ron. Coming up, the confrontation.
After finalizing and compiling the findings, Cheaters calls Ron to present the results of the investigation. With a heavy heart, Ron agrees to meet with Cheater's investigators in an effort to allay his worries of losing another wife.
Ron, thank you for being here this evening. I know that recently you've had some challenges in your relationship with Stephanie. Hang on one second. Yeah, you know, we're right in the middle of it now. Okay, all right, we'll do that. You know what, we need to load up and get in standby right now. Okay, quick, come with me. Ron, I apologize. It's just that time is of the essence. We do have some information that may shed some light on the questions that you have about your relationship. Are you ready to take a look at some of that?
Yes.
On this day, we had a detective that was outside of Stephanie's place of employment. She was observed and followed as she left the hospital, and our detective stayed close by until Stephanie arrived at a bar. She parks in a stall, heads into the bar, and as soon as she arrives, she greets a gentleman. They share an embrace. They go inside to participate in a game of foosball. As they return to the parking lot, we see Stephanie get in, and I know you can't see it right there, but as that car pulls away, she's joined in the van by this gentleman. They proceed until they arrive at a hotel, and a substantial period of time elapses before we do observe Stephanie exiting the hotel. On this day, After Stephanie got off work, she arrived at a shopping mart, went inside, made some purchases. As she left the mart, our detective was close by, and at this point, it's clear that Stephanie's in a little too deep as she goes back to the hotel. She spends quite some time there, and that concludes the information that we were able to compile for you. Ron, I don't want to get too personal, but some of the other situations that you discovered were in direct relation to what you found that Stephanie was kind of up to. Can you describe to me what that was?
I found a pregnancy test in the garbage that was positive.
When you found that pregnancy test, how did you feel?
I was elated. I wanted to have children. I wanted to have a family.
So you waited a few days because you thought she may have wanted to surprise you.
I actually waited weeks for her to spring it on me and to let me know. I walked into a room one day and found her crying, and I couldn't understand why, when everything looked so good, why she would be crying. She told me that she had been to the doctor that day. She lost the baby.
I'm sorry. We were able to do one of the things that you did ask us to do, and that was find out what in the world was going on in your relationship. My detectives earlier told me that Stephanie picked up the same gentleman at the hotel this evening, and that they're together right now. Now, Ron, I know that a part of you almost expected something like this to happen because you brought something with you.
I brought Stephanie's clothes. Well, she's with him. That's where she's gonna stay.
Let me check with the detective and see if I can find out exactly where they are at this time. Yeah, we just finished up the second. We're still on the road right now. Yeah, no, we're coming up on the exit right now. Go ahead and exit right here. All right, we're pulling off right now. They're leaving the restaurant. We have a detective that's on site, okay? We're not far. Everything's under control. Take a couple of breaths. I want you to start thinking of some of the questions that you want to ask her. They're coming out right now? Yeah, I see the restaurant. All right, let's move. The security guy's right there.
Yeah, they're right there.
Stephanie? Stephanie? I'm Joey Greco with
What's going on here? Who's this?
Somebody that works at the hospital.
I've seen every bit of this on camera.
Coming up, the conclusion.
Stephanie picked up the same gentleman.
Let's get it over with.
They're coming out right now?
I've seen this on camera. What are you trying to do to me, Stephanie?
What about what I've been through?
What have you been through?
Never got over Karen. You don't love me.
I never even mentioned her name.
I just
No! I never mentioned her name. I'm gonna get you, little boy.
No.
What do you think?
I said,
I don't want. I'm doing my job.
Okay.
I don't
No,
want.
Ron, no! Ron, no! No! No, Ron! Ron, no!
Ron, settle down.
Stop, baby, please
Okay, listen.
stop.
Oh, you go away. You're the problem.
Baby, stop. Baby,
Take
stop.
me away.
Ron.
Please stop.
This ain't right.
Okay.
This ain't
Let's
right.
just go home and talk
Take me
about
away,
this.
Joey.
Please.
Okay. All right.
Just
come on.
let's go home and talk about this.
What difference does it make?
Why do you think we've been in all this counseling? Because of this right
But
here.
you
because
won't
of this.
go. You won't go.
It's always like
No,
this.
what? I've been through counseling. You stop going.
What is this?
Excuse me. Get off the property.
Okay.
You get off the
Okay.
property.
Sir. Okay.
Will you please?
Okay.
No,
It's over.
I don't want to.
Baby, no.
No, it's over. You're leaving with him. I got
You're
your
just
clothes in the
throwing
van.
me out.
You're out. First I lose Karen, then we lose the baby. Now you're sleeping with somebody else?
Wait.
No,
Watch out.
No.
Watch out. No. Calm down.
My wife?
Relax.
Huh?
All right, come on.
My wife?
Let's move. Come on.
Would you go away with those cameras?
I don't want to do this. I can't take it.
You got what you wanted now? Go away!
get him out of here, guys. Let's load it up, guys.
After the confrontation, Ron steps back from the edge to deal with the harsh reality of his wife's infidelity. At the conclusion of this episode, Ron decides whether to ride out this stormy chapter or to pull up stakes and move on with his life. But now Cheaters revisits with Christie Lett, a former client returning to relay her perspective. Still somewhat upset by the shocking outcome, Christie offers insight into her life since the confrontation.
Christie Lett, age 32. Christie walks us through her electrifying experience and fills us in on what she's been up to.
I was really devastated. I was shocked to even see them coming out the bar together, for one, and then for two, just to ask him, what he's been doing all this time during the day, and then find out, he's been cheating on me. I was devastated. I mean, from then, I didn't know what I was really going to do. I didn't want to, talk to him for days, but I knew, I wanted to get some resolution and try to get some questions answered, but I was just shocked.
I can't believe you throwing it on me.
Easy.
I gave you 5 years and you gonna do this to me? What's wrong with you? No, baby. Wait a minute. Do you hear me?
I'm Joey.
Do you hear me? What, man? Nothing. No.
I was sad, to be honest. I didn't want anybody to get hurt. I mean, yeah, I went and confronted him, and I did, want to say some choice words to him or whatever and try to figure out what was going on. But to actually see the security guard tase him, I was just blown away. And I didn't want to see him hurt, but in the back of my head, I probably was kind of happy, but I don't ever want to inflict pain on anybody like that.
What? Leave now. All these cameras out here, you gonna tell me to leave? All these cameras out here, you gonna tell me to leave?
You need to leave, security.
Wait, sir, man. Move! Get out of here now! What you gonna do? Sir, get out of here now! Sir, down!
Whoa. Stay there. It's gonna be all right. Just back up.
What is
Everybody
wrong
back.
with him? What are
Everybody
you?
back.
Sir, he didn't mean no harm. He did not mean no harm.
Relax.
With counseling, it seemed like he was going to help out, but talking to him and listening to how he talked to the minister and saying his point of view and why he took that approach on, stepping out of the marriage, I can just see he's a totally different person. He's not what I thought he was in the beginning when we first met. We decided to go ahead and get a divorce. I couldn't continue a relationship like that if he was going to abuse it and not respect me for the person that I am and respect our relationship for the vows that we took.
Bitch can stay here, man.
Whatever. You must like her ass. You bringing her in my house like she gonna take my damn position.
Hey,
he ain't taking my role. You hear me?
Well, he gonna shoot you next time. Come on.
No, I wish that will shoot me.
Do you want to know?
Cause you my wife. Come on.
And that must have married to all these.
Cause you my wife. What, man?
You need to calm down.
Man, I'm calm. I just got shot with a taser gun, man. I'm calm. I'm calm. I just got.
You want another one?
No, I don't want another one. Do you want another? Calm.
That's why you need to calm down.
You gonna let him shoot me again? You gonna let him shoot?
I think I've become the stronger person out of the situation, and I'm moving on with my life. Hope to focus more on my career and maybe find true love again later on down the line.
Ron Bush understands that the life he'd hoped for will likely change due to the discoveries made by cheaters. In spite of this, Ron cannot deny the love he feels for Stephanie. After his initial anger, Ron decides to try to make it work with his soulmate. Stephanie Bush knows that she has a lot to answer for and claims that her recent fling was exactly that, a fling. Stephanie admits that she sought the attention of a longtime associate because of Ron's smothering. Stephanie says, Ron makes me feel loved in a way that I never felt before. Stephanie goes on to make a clear distinction between love and sex, stating, just because I was intimate with another man doesn't mean I love him. Suspect Bush's companion hopes that all this will blow over soon. He admits to having done Ron wrong, but states that he and Stephanie had only a fleeting relationship, which meant nothing.
Now remember, if you don't get your programming from Goldstein's, why, we'll both lose money.